Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Craps here with John from Pro Craps on Casino Gaming TV. Hopefully, things work out today. I can see it's weird. I'm not sure if you see it too, but there's a lag today. I'm watching myself talk on camera, and there's a delay with my voice. It is what it is. I don't know why I'm having this problem this morning. The Crapsy rollout this morning in my garage, same thing. It was all sorts of lag today. I don't know why that was happening. But anyway, neither here nor there. Here we are today to talk about all things craps. So there's a lot of stuff in chat here, and I want to make sure, Victor, I'm going to call you out twice today. One, because you had a great question in the Daily Paycheck show that I want you to not forget. Also, you've got this note in here about the basic 96 across the 110 inside. We're talking about across betting today. That's a great way to play it. Let's make sure that maybe what we should do actually, and today when I get to the table, we'll talk about it some. These badass moves that we keep talking about on the dark side and everything else, we can definitely do a badass, now that we'll spend the whole week looking at these things. Maybe we can do a quick next week, a badass across bet move, or badass across strategies, because I think across strategies in and of themselves are kind of a special badass way to play. So that's actually kind of an interesting thing. Maybe we should do that next week. Maybe the badass moves, I was planning to do badass regression moves next week. Maybe we should do badass across bets next week after we look at them all today. So we'll give it a shot and see what happens. I think that's just interesting. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm changing my screens here. That's just an interesting way, I think, to kind of move the needle forward, I suppose, right? So, all right, let's go. Why is my other screen not showing? There it is. Okay, cool. Let's move in and talk all the stuff. So Friday night fights, as you know, Colonel Potter is playing Alfredo. I have not yet talked to Alfredo this week. He's just back from Vegas. I have him on tap for a couple things. One is going to be this match with Colonel Potter on Friday. The second thing is I have him on tap to deal the next Midmo Yo and Chris challenge. I want to make sure that he's on board to deal that out. I think he said he was, no problem, but I want to make sure that that's a thing. So Alfredo, if you're here or if you're in Brian's, HCS is going live at the same time we are today. So I suspect we'll have way lower numbers than normal because of that. But so Alfredo, if you're here, great. If not, I'll catch up with you later on. Reminder from Jeff that Craps Chat's on Sunday. This Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. And Daily Fantasy Domination, the next video drops tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific. I didn't put the time on here, but that's tomorrow night. And then next week, Chris starts going live. Once he's back from his cruise and he's done gallivanting around the world, he'll be live with us every week on that. So there's that. That's your kind of your announcements. Let's just roll in here and talk about some other stuff. Let's see. Quick update on the Craps for the Cure thing. So I put an event out, so we're going to try this out tonight. In Discord, there's a thing called an event. I put an event out for tonight at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 Eastern. If you want to talk about Craps for the Cure and be part of it, jump into Discord. I think it'll alert you, and it will be in one of the voice rooms. And basically, it's like a Zoom call. And what I want to do is I want to go over all the things that we're going to need to do. For example, we need a logo. We need to get t-shirts made. We need to get, food and drink figured out. We need to make sure that all the timing is right, that we have somebody coordinating the auction items and getting them mailed out, and all those things have to happen, right? So tonight we'll do our first planning session on that. We've got about 5 weeks to go. It is the 11th of October. We do this thing on November 18th, so it's 5 weeks from now. It's going to be fast and furious. So make sure that if you want to be part of it, join me, and we'll do it tonight for sure. And again, if you're still planning travel, I'd love for y'all to go there. I know it's at one 24-hour thing at Casino Quest. You're all welcome in. We're going to play games the entire time. You'll be part of the tables. You'll be part of the competitions. We have so much fun shit planned. It's going to be great. Get out there if you can do it. I would love to meet you all in person, obviously, and play a little bit before and after the telethon. So yeah, get on out there and hit up Michael Feldman for hosting services, room discounts, whatever he can do. Let's do it. And Old Bay says, of course, if Alfredo can't deal, he's willing to deal, which is great. Yes, and Skill and Luck wants me to show the screens for all the badass moves, and I will do that in just a second. We're going to go through them here in a minute, and maybe we'll just actually do some of that. So, Mid-Mo, are we playing craps at all? Hell yeah, we're playing craps. Hell yeah. I'm coming in Thursday morning. Now, here's the deal for me. I don't really have time off of work, so I'm coming in on Thursday morning. I think I fly in at like 9 or 10 in the morning. I've got meetings to cover between like noon and 3 or so on Thursday. We'll head out to Casino Quest, get things set up. I'm playing Thursday night. Friday, during the day, I'll probably be relaxing, getting chilled out before the 24-hour starts. We're going to go live 24 hours from 4 o'clock Friday to 4 o'clock Saturday, I think. 4 o'clock Friday to 7 o'clock Saturday, I think is the schedule. It'll be like 27 hours total. I'm sure that Sunday I'm going to want to relax a little bit, but I'm staying in town through Tuesday. So we'll probably play some on Thursday night, maybe some Friday morning, probably play live. I'm going to guess Sunday night. Afternoon, night, all day Monday, and so on Thursday. So I'll be playing in Vegas for 4 days. Just that one 24-hour period where I'm going to be kind of just, probably zombified after the whole thing. But yeah, get on out there. Let's play the whole thing. Let's do the thing. All right, let's move ahead and let's see what's next on our docket here. The badass craps moves. So Skill asked me to kind of go over them. Here's the badass moves of this week. Okay. And of last week too. And I may switch gears a little bit, but we've done some dark side ones, but we did the don't pass with a 2x lay odds on the 9, right? So $30 don't pass, $60 lay on the 9. That was a Skill and Luck move. I've shown you the John Patrick move, which is a don't pass, laying double odds to get a don't come bet through, removing the odds and having a don't pass and a don't come bet essentially out there without a whole lot of risk, which is great. 2 flat bets on the 7. That's a really cool killer move. There's Skill and Luck's other one, which is the don't pass, don't come, with the don't come just being sized below the don't pass bet. Today I want to show you laying the back wall. And laying the back wall is a great way to attack a 7. It actually is a kind of a cool move in a lot of ways. And I'm going to show you how to play the lay the back wall and how I have used it in the past to transition into other things. So to me, this is one of the best moves. And I've been talking quite a bit about the 7 recently. We did a lot of dark side stuff last week. We're going to do these today here. Matter of fact, let's go to the table. Let's just switch the table now. And I got to turn the camera on for it, actually. Here's the camera. Here's the light coming. It's all going to work out. Trust me. There it is. There's the light. Let's check the lay the back wall move. And like I said, I've been highlighting this a lot because VDC has been highlighting this a lot to me privately. He's like, hey, look at how often I'm going to put this over here. You can't see my coffee, but it's right on the table. So be careful, John. How often the 7 out is followed by a come out 7. He's like, you got to lay the back wall there. Like when you're seeing that trend happen, and it happened twice today in the morning rollout, twice. It happened when I do my nighttime rolls. It happens all the time. So he's like, lay the back wall. And here's how you lay the back wall. I'm going to show this to you, and this is a good way to transition. The back wall lay is $200. I'm going to put the greens out here first. You can see the greens behind. It's $30 on the inside numbers, and it's $40 on the 4 and the 10. And the reason why, people ask, you cannot lay the back wall for 180. Most casinos will not allow the 180 lay because every one of these bets pays a vig. The vig is 10% or 5% of the win, okay? Look at what these bets win, and that's how we'll determine how much the vigs are. So we'll start with the inside, the 6 and the 8. When you lay them for 30, they pay $25 with $1 vig for each. The 5 and 9 laid for 30, they each pay $20. $20, 5% carries a $1 vig. Now, most casinos will round the 6 and 8 down to $1 for you. Okay, that's going to be that. Now, the 4 and the 10 will also pay at $40. They'll pay $20, just like the 5 and 9, which means the vig on those is $1. It's $6 in total vig to get across. Now, if you lay the 4 and 10 for $30, which is a lot of people do, lay the back wall for 180, then what happens is these only pay $15, not 20. 30 pays 15. 5% of 15 is not $1, right? It's below the lowest. The lowest bet you can make is $1, or the lowest vig you can pay is $1. 5% of 15 is less than $1. So the casinos won't allow that. They're going to make you win $20 so that the vig is right. They're not trying to screw you out of a few bucks. It's to make the vig right, because the vig has got to be 5% of this win amount. And that's the reason why most casinos will put you at $40 on the 4 and 10. So it's $200 out the door, right? It's 30, 60, 90, or it's God, 120 here and 40 out here is $200. Okay, what does it pay? Again, well, you can look at here. It pays 50 in the inside, right? 60 or $50. 20, 40, 60, 80, and 50 is 130. It pays 130 minus your vig of 6, so it's 124. When I play this, it's 125 for 1. That's when I throw this up there, the dealers sometimes go, "What are you doing?" I'll explain this. It's going to pay 130 minus the 6. I'm going to give you a buck when it hits. I want 125. It takes a couple times to get it rolling. It's a game slow down kind of a thing. But when it hits, it pays 1 1/4 for 1, which is a really slick little deal. And that's laying the back wall. So you can drop. It's easy to say. Once they get it, you're going, okay, cool. Lay the back wall for 200, please. And they got it. Once they do it once, they got it. There's your setup. After a come out set, or after a 7 out, boom, lay the back wall for $200. If it hits, it's 100 1/4. Beautiful freaking thing. It's a beautiful thing. If it doesn't hit, and again, this is a kind of a move you'll play, especially from the don't. If you're working the don't pass, that's a great little bet, right? If you're not working the don't, so what? You can just, and I've done this before, lay the back wall. If you hit it, love the 125. I love the 125. If I don't hit it, what's going to happen? Let's say where's my dice? Let's roll something. Doesn't matter what, a 6. We rolled a 6. Point's going to be 6. You're going to lose your lay. You're upside down $30, which kind of sucks, right? What I've been doing is this, and when I was last time in Vegas, I did this a bunch. Let's move it all down. Everything comes forward. Make it all place bets, right? And it will cost me another $30 to get out there on the 6. I got to drop and replace the one that came. So I'm upside down $30. Potentially another 30 for here. And I just convert from back wall lay to front wall play. One move, right? I'll lose $30 in the 6. If I get anything to roll in here, there's the 9. The 9 pays $35. Well, guess what? I got back the $30 that I lost on the back wall when the 6 got set. And I'm back to playing. Now I'm playing my cross bet. Right? One hit gets that money back, and now you just play the across bet the way you're going to play it anyway. You have to sacrifice one roll in this system to get yourself right. That's a really cool way of playing. To me, it's a badass move because that come out 7 happens so many times, especially after a 7 out. So when you do this, you're going to lose $30 whenever a point gets set, or 40 on the 4 and 10. Fine, you're going to lose some money every time. You're guaranteed to lose one of these bets, but I will tell you this, 1 out of 6 times, you're going to win 100 1/4, which is pretty damn cool. You win 125 and you slide your stuff up on the next roll. This is a free across bet. That's where this becomes badass, because let's say you win 125. Let's say the point was a 6 like it was, and you lose your $30. Well, guess what? Your 25 from your win plus $5 from your rack comes out. You're out here essentially for free, right? What you've got invested out here is 105. You've got 120 here in the middle, 200 on the outside. You're into $200 across for $80. That's pretty cool. Love that move. I love the back wall lay, moving it to the front. That's one of my favorite moves. Bringing those black chips in on those come out 7s is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And in fact, I've seen guys do this where on the repeat come out 7s, the second one they press them up and get up there for 400. It's a cool move. That to me is one of the most badass moves that there is in this game. Laying that back wall when the 7s are coming and racking black chips. And again, if you can afford it to go to 400 back here and you're racking 2 blacks, Bob is your uncle on that deal. I love that play. So anyway, there's the lay in the back wall as a badass craps move. That's a dark side badass craps move that I really like. I've been doing that for, I don't know, the better part of a couple years now. I didn't used to do it because I felt like, oh my God, it's so risky. But then you start analyzing, you start rolling it out. And in a casino where people are actually rolling 7s, that thing is ripping on money on those sevens, man. It's just such a cool way. And again, if you want to play right side across, moving from that back wall right to the place bets, the dealers, it's nice and easy to move it back. You get your $6 back. It's a beautiful thing. I love the back wall lay. So there's that. Now, Skill wants me to remind you of the other badass moves. Let me go ahead and pull the screens up here. Let me go find them. Badass. Here's the badass regression moves that are coming up. The badass regression moves that we're going to be covering are the Skill 66, the squeeze play, the quarter pounder with ease, the wedge, the 500 for one. There are others that I'm sure you know about and play. If you have other regression moves you want to play, I'll make sure you have a place to submit those to me, as well as the across bet play. So today we're going to be talking about across betting. So we'll do, let's see, do I have other one of these that I want to show you? Not yet. I'll find, Skill, I got to get organized. I'll find the other badass moves for you and get them all listed out. Actually, we may just make a page on it, but give me some time here. I'll put the screens back up that have all the moves kind of listed out. But yeah, I think the dark side ones are kind of where we are now. And I love some of these. Like I said, these are just fun. These are just super fun. I love, by the way, that Jeremy put a video out yesterday. You know, we have light side, dark side. He's calling this hybrid thing the gray side strategy. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, so we'll work on, let's see, what's the next? The ricochet, the traveling lay, we'll do it again, and the big ass lay from old number 7. That'll be fun. We got some more badass craps moves on the dark side coming this week. Next week, I think we're going to switch into the across bets. I think that's pretty cool. All right, coming up next, again, I'm going to cover this in like 3 seconds. Yeah, make a page in Discord. I will do that for sure. Something in Discord will do. I'm not sure. Discord's not like the most user-friendly thing. It definitely does. It does some weirdness with, like, the forum is not easy to find and the posting is not easy to work with. It's just not great, but we'll figure something out. Skill's asking me, would love me to try laying half the back wall to see if I could. No. I get what you're saying. It's a risk reducer thing. Is there enough money in that? I don't know if there's enough money in it to make it worth it. I don't know. These uptown, downtown things, to me, especially when I'm betting on the right side, I don't do them. I don't like splitting the board. The reason why I love across betting is because I don't miss any rolls. With the back wall lay, going only half means you can only lose on these 3 numbers, and those 3 numbers are freebies. But the reward for that is so much less. We can try it out. We can do, I can do uptown, downtown, across on the lays, and we can run it out as a series and see the payouts on that thing. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm torn on it. I said no, strung out the door because I was thinking more uptown, downtown, front side, right side. We'll try it. We'll try it. I don't know. I just want more money. I just want more money out there, and I want to make more money. And James is here. So here's another one, right? Laying the 4 when 4 4s become the 4 7. That feels like DGE right there. So yeah, that's a great move. That's a great, and that's a table reading kind of a move. That's like when you see guys kind of shoving all in on the right time. All right, let's get back to this here. And the reason for the week, the reason for talking about across betting is this. I want to remind you every day of the reason why I'm spending so much time on across bets, because A, lot of people do across betting, but B, my friend Myopia Movie asked me this question: why do I want a lot of 5s and 6 box number hits versus a 20 or 30 roll monster? And the reason why is because I bet across when I'm either betting inside or across. I prefer the across when I have the bankroll for it. I don't like missing rolls, number one. And I want to find ways that I can guarantee myself, quote unquote, guarantee some profit, right? I want to make sure that I'm safe in a roll quickly, 3, 4, 5 rolls max out of the hand with profit. And I know that if I go to the ceiling, right, looking for the monster every single time, I'm going to tread water and then either hit a home run or I'm going to strike out. And I'd rather not strike out. I don't like striking out. So the reason for this is to explore, what does playing across look like for 4 or 5 rolls? And that's the idea here. So let's go ahead and go to the table. And I want to remind you of the ways we're going to look at. And today I said we're going to play across 4 ways. What I want to look at today are the wedge strategy. I want to look at the sister press. the full press, and the pineapple press. We're going to look at a couple of ways to do it and just kind of examine which way feels best to you and how they look over time. So let's go to the table. Pardon me. Let's go to this view. I'm going to go to the short view of the table. And let's revisit the across betting. And since the chips are out there, let's do it as 160 across. So I'll take some of the bets down, and we'll clear it up. We'll take these down, like so. We'll have 160 across. A normal size, regular, old-fashioned across bet. And let's look again at the ways that you can play this. And again, I don't care about the rolls so much just now, but I want to give you your visual options of the ways to play, and then we're going to do some rolling. So, given a point established. Now, first things first, do you play the come out roll when you're betting across? There's a point to be made for and a point to be made against this. I know that some people are really into, you got to roll every time. The dice don't know it's a come out roll. True. There's no difference in the number of possibilities for a 7 on a come out roll versus any other roll. Also true, right? There's the same 1 in 6 chance of losing it now as losing it now. That doesn't change. What changes on the come out roll is the ability to lose these bets twice. So let's say that you happen to roll that come out 7 and you lose 160 and you go back up for 160, and then here comes, the 5-2 and you lose it again. Because that's what happens on the come out rolls. People will go on a little bit of a come out burn. If you're going to replace your bets after a come out loss, don't work the come out, because you can get burned 2 times. That's the key, right? Or 3 or 4. You've seen it, right? 3, 4 come out 7s. If you're going to allow that to happen to you 1 time and then come back out after the point's established, fine, work the come out. If you're going to replace your bets every time you get your butt kicked down there, I would say don't work the come out, because these you can lose $500 before a point gets established if you're doing this. So be careful with that. That's my caveat here to working the come out, is be careful what you're doing, because you can lose these bets multiple times. All right. Now, assuming that that's not your world, right? Let's let a point get established, and here we go. Let's look at a few ways to play this, and I want you to really put your head into what resonates with you as far as a safe way to do this, okay? Or the best way for you. And let's take a look at a 4-roll thing, 3 or 4 rolls. I say all the time, in 3 rolls, I can make money, okay? Here's how you make money here in 3 rolls. There's a number of ways to do it, but I will show you the wedge first, okay? The wedge, let's actually roll dice, and I'm gonna roll them, and hopefully we don't get any 7s. There's a 10. Let's get another one here. I'm going to ignore the 7s because I want you to see sequence. There's a 5, 5 is midnight. There's another 10. Okay, cool. I'll roll 5 non-7s, and we'll just see how we'd play it out, because the 7's going to take your money anyway. And there's another 5. And I'll put in here, by the way, the 7 that came on roll. What roll was that? Was that the 3rd one? The 7 came here as an option of where you might be in that case. All right, so let's take this set of rolls. If you're playing what's called the wedge system, which is a reduction of your bets. Alexa must have heard me say something. Let's reduce our bets as we go. So the first hit on the 10 would have paid us $50. Okay, minus, of course, our vig. What you do on the wedge is you pull these down. Alexa, stop. You pull these bets down from the outside, working your way in. I'll take a quarter and make it look like 5 reds. We're going to go back for 10, table minimum, or half of your bet, or if you're higher, a third of your bet. So you're out for 160. You've got, I'll put it right here, 75, $80 back in your rack. These 2 bets are down. Next roll is a 5 right here. Pays $35, 25, $35. And we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to pull the 5 and 9. Again, we're going to wedge ourselves back in right there. We'll get the 5 for $10. I need to get some more change. And we'll get the 9 for $10. And now I've got 100, 25, 135, 145 back in my rack after 2 hits. My rack is almost normal, okay? The third hit was a 10. 10 on the end pays 18 bucks for 10, right? $10 bet pays 18. We're gonna take our 6 and 8 both down and make them look like 12 bucks. I'll need to get some whites for that, for one of those reds. There's that. Looks like $12. And now I've got $64 across. So I've wedged myself down. I've done a tiered regression as we traveled. There's 75, there's 150, there's the 160 I started with. So my bankroll is safe. After 3 rolls, I've got 25, 35, $39 in profit. And I'm out for 64 across. Essentially, I've got 100 bucks in profit. 64 plus 39 is about 104 bucks. So you're technically at $104 in profit. Your initial bankroll is safe. 3 rolls in, you're right here on this one here. Now you're playing and you're out here for cheap. That's a reduction of risk as you go. It's a little bit of a lockup, $39 in lockup, not a lot of profit, right? You do this 10 times, you're at 400 bucks in profit. If you just do that 10 times, you're at 400 bucks. If the 7 comes right now, you're out of money, right? It takes a hot minute to get where you want to go. Winning 3 rolls 10 times is really hard to do, as you know. You've seen me fail at this. So that's a way to reduce risk as you go and be left here. The problem with being left here is a problem that is highlighted all the time by the folks at Sin City Living, which I think is a good point. Regression strategies are great. However, you're on roll 4. The table's on roll 4. You're on roll 1. You're way behind the 8 ball here. You have not pressed anything. In fact, your bets are back down at below market value, essentially. So you're starting at roll 4, but you're really just getting out of the gate here. So as you know, 5 rolls is a miracle. We even saw the 7 come. 5 rolls is a miracle. 6, 7, 8, 9 rolls is a real miracle. To go from roll 4 to roll 7, from 64 across, you're not going to make but 30 or 40 more bucks here. Especially if you press 2 times, you're going to be kind of hard pressed to make any money. So that's the good side. Is you lock up in 3 rolls, a little bit of profit, and you're playing for free. If the monster comes, then you're in good shape. If it's an average roll, you're not doing that great. But that's the wedge. I like the fact that it reduces your risk as you go. I like the fact that it keeps the 6 and 8 powerful the whole way through. That's a great little way to play. That's one option. And if you're risk averse, that's a good way to play because, as you saw, with every roll, our risk went down, right? With every roll, our risk was reduced because we pulled back. Let's set it back up again, right? On roll 1 or on hit 1, we won that 50 bucks, right? And we pulled these money off the table. 50 bucks plus pulling money back. So really, your risk in this scenario right here, you have 80 bucks in your rack. You started with 160. You've only got 80 bucks at risk now. After 1 roll, you've reduced your risk by half. I love that part of the strategy. I love that part. If you're risk averse, the wedge, great way to go. Now, if you're not risk averse and you want to be a little bit more aggressive, what else can we do? Well, there's a lot of ways to press. Most ways of pressing really to me are, I think, should be looked at one of 2 ways. Either you strengthen the middle, right? You strengthen the 6 and the 8 as much as you can. You strengthen the 5 and 9 as much as you can. And you let the 4 and 10 sort of do their thing on the outsides here. That's the theory behind the pineapple press. The pineapple press that Hawaii Crapshooters puts out is essentially starting with an inside press. You're going to press here. So in our case, the 10 paid first, right? It paid 50 bucks. We would like to press the 6 and the 8 to 60 bucks each, or at the very least, what can I do here? I can make those look like $24 bets. Let's take that out. Let's go to 24. There's 24, 24. I'll have $2 and change. And I can make both of these now look like 54 bucks. Okay, so you press your 6 and 8 both up. They go to $54. And presto bango, you're in good shape, right? From 30 to 54 in one shot. That's pretty awesome, right? That's your first move. Your second move on the 5 and 9, the 5 hits, it pays 35 bucks. And again, pineapple press, you press here, Then you strengthen the next ones out. So you take that 35 bucks. We'll probably just make it look like 30. I'll get the 5 and 9 up by 15 bucks each. And I'll take a little tiny bit of money to my rack. I got $7 in the rack. It doesn't matter at all, right? Next roll is a 10. Press them both up. Now you've taken 3 hits. Everything's pressed up. You pressed strength, little less strength, little less strength. Then we get that 6 to pop in here. We take that 66 bucks. Yep, 65, 66 bucks on the 6. And in this hit, you're out. Now you make your call. You can go right back to 160. Let's take a look. We go back down to 160. How does our rack look? I'm going to take all this down. Let's go back, regress it right back to the 160 across. We'll go right, boom, boom. Do we have enough in our rack to cover ourselves? Let's find out. There's 50, 100, 125. Let's get the reds picked up here. There's another quarter. There's 150. There's 160. So you got 160 back in your rack. You had a profit of 5. Ooh, look at that. I found a green. Profit of 30. There's 10 bucks. A profit of 45, 46 bucks. So look at this. Your initial money's back. You have 46 bucks, which is more than the wedge had. The wedge had $39, right? And you're at 160 across instead of being at 64 across. So this, you're in for 4 hits. You got to get that 4th hit to make it work, which makes it hard, right? The Hawaiian horn makes it hard because you got to survive the 4th hit. The wedge, you survived 3 hits and you reduced as you went. By the time you're on hit number 3 with the wedge, the nice thing about that, you were already out of the hand. You had no risk at all. Here you're full risk, full risk, full risk. On the 4th hit, you're still at full risk. If it pays off though, if the horn pays off on the money shot, which in this case it does, you got profit and you're 160 across versus 64 across. You're 3 full betting units higher across just for incurring the risk for an extra roll. Now again, risk averse, wedge, reduce your risk. You reduce your risk as you go. The horn, you stay at the same risk and you're pressing likely, a little bit less likely, a little bit less likely. That's the idea of that strategy, okay? Now, let's look at another way of doing it. Again, we'll keep using the same bets out here because I want you to, the same rolls. I want you to see the other option that we've got, which is this. This is the sister press way of doing it. Very, very popular. And the sister presses work literally on that, right? So the first case was the 10. And the 10 pays the 50 bucks. You press the sister. Go to the 4 and 10 with it. The second hit was a 5, $35 5. Okay, let's make this look like red chips. We press the sisters, so the 5 and the 9 get pressed. Just again, you're pressing whatever you got. Your sister comes up. There's the 10. Now we've pressed it up. It pays 100 bucks, right? You can press the sisters again, and again, this is a 4-roll strategy. So after 4 rolls, you're done no matter what. Here comes the 6 for 35 bucks, 25, 35, and you're just done. You don't press. You're just out of the hand. Let's see where we landed here. So we have a quarter. Bring everything back to base. 5 and the 9 come back down. And here, you're back at 160. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's your 150. There's your 160 you started with. You're at 160 out. 25, 35, 45, 55, 60 bucks in profit. So that way, because we had 2 10s, and repeater seals the deal for you, right? More money. That's a beautiful way. Pressing the sisters, again, you're incurring risk until roll 4. Roll 4 is your out shot. Wherever you happen to land, you land. And if you get a sister to repeat like we did here, that makes money. That's a pattern thing, right? The thing about pressing sisters that I don't like so much is that there's no causality to it. There's nothing to say that because the 5 hit, the 9's going to hit. So you're pressing numbers that have no business being pressed. The pineapple press presses likely numbers, which makes sense, the 5 pressing the 9 makes 0 sense. The 10 pressing the 4 makes 0 sense because there's no relationship there other than they happen to be, quote, sisters, right? So again, good option for 4 rolls. The reasoning behind pressing a sister, it makes brain sense, but doesn't make math sense. The fourth way to look at this is the way that I've been playing personally recently. And I like this one. This is the full press on the number. And what I do is this. My rules are, I will full press the number that hit and only that number. And I'm looking for one of 2 conditions. Either I get a repeat on a number or I get four numbers to hit. One of the 2 is going to happen, right? Or the 7, obviously, right? But I'm looking for either a repeater or 4 hits. One of those 2 conditions and I'm done. In that case, what would have happened to me here? The 10 would have hit. I full press the number that comes. The 5 hits for $35. And again, I full press the number that came. The 10 comes, 75 pays $150. And I'm done because I had a repeater. If a number hits twice, it's like double tapping it. I'm done and I'm out. We go back down to base, and here's our, I'm short of myself a quarter on the 5. Back down to base, there's 25. What did I do wrong there? Oh, no, I didn't. 25, 35, yeah, there we go. Back down to 160. Here's where I am, 150, 160, so there's my initial bankroll's back. I'm out for 160 and I have 75 in profit. I dig that way. I dig this idea of pressing what's coming, press the number that came. If it happens to come again, beautiful, you're out early. I was out in roll 3 instead of roll 4. Now, if this was not a 10, if that was a 9, I would have been out in roll 4. I would have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 different hits and I would have been out. But that's the way that I approach it. So there's the 4 ways I wanted to show you today of a cross betting. Okay, one is going to be, again, the wedge. Reduce your risk as you go. The second one was the pineapple press, which goes inside to out, putting more money on the likeliest numbers to hit. Then we looked at sister pressing, which is going to be pressing these two, and these 2 in unison. Finally, the full press, which I just did, pressing the number that came all the way, 3 or 4 rolls. And those are some approaches, right? There's a conservative approach, there's a couple of aggressive approaches. And again, the last 3, you're at risk the entire time, which is kind of interesting. Victor brought one up this morning, which is at 160, just running to the inside. This is kind of a cool one too. I'd never rolled this out, but let's see what happens, right? We have a 10 that pays $50. He wants to take this here and come inside with it, right? Get rid of the 4 and 10, go to the 6 and the 8 with it. Okay, that's great. So that's going to make our 6 and 8 look like, I can't quite get to 90 here, but we can do like 77. We'll go to 75. I'll take a 5 and make whites out of it. And we'll go to $77 on the 6 and the 8. $6 and change. That's your first hit. Your second one here is a 415. That pays $35, 25, $35. Okay. We'll take the 4-9 down. How high can we go with that? Well, let's see. I can do it. I can do 120. Perfect. We'll make these look like 120. That's 100. I have $40 here. There's 120 on the 6 and the 8. I'm not gonna, well, I should make them black. I'll make them blacks. Make them black so it looks purty. 120 on the 6 and 8. Now you gotta suffer. The 10 doesn't roll, you wasted a roll. The 6 does happen to roll, that's great, that pays 140. In this case, that pays 120, pays 140. And I would think you're out. Right, you moved into the middle, you got one of them to hit. The miracle happened. Those whites look like a red. Let's come down and see where we would have landed. This is going to be nice. There's 300. I'm going to make this look like greens. There's 150. There's your 160 that you started with. We can come back out for 160. There's 160 to go back out with. And our rack has 50, $65. So you're at your initial bankroll. You're back out for 160 if you want to be. and you got 65 bucks in profit. They're all working the same. Y'all notice the pattern here? When you press inside out, when you press sisters, when you press the number, when you work your way to the inside, you end up at 160 across with a little bit of profit, about 50, 60 bucks in profit. It all seems to be the same thing. The problem with what I just showed you, the Victor way, which I think is a good one because we got lucky here. We actually hit the number, which is great. We hit the 6 for that huge payout. That's awesome. When you remove bets off the across and you end up here on these 2 super nice, big, strong bets, you're limiting your targets. You've only got 2 targets here. And the deeper the roll gets, the less targets you have, the more susceptible you are to getting whacked. Right? That 7 could come and take your lunch, as it were. We don't want to have that happen. So there's a look at some across options, and I guess there's variations abound on ways to play that. So, obviously opening it up to you, ways that you play across, and I would, again, we can get it in Discord, we can get it here in chat. Think about the ways that you play it. And again, there's other ways to do this. There's a full Butterberg, bringing the bets all the way off the table as they hit. There's the single press. There's the half press all the way through, where you never pull a bet down. You leave the whole 160 out there, and you're looking for, the monster roll, and you're going to give up the 160 every single time until you win or don't win. So anyway, that's a look at different ways to approach this style of betting. Now, one thing I didn't mention is this. Let's go back out here. And I do this. You've seen me do this a lot. And I don't really have a good explanation for why I do this, but I do it. There's our 6 and our 8. I'll oftentimes do this, or you've seen me throw out an any craps bet to go low. I don't do C&E. It's any. I'll live with the 11, taking my $5. I don't care. I don't want to waste any rolls if I can help it. The nice thing about the C bet is that it pays 7 to 1. So $5 pays 35. These all pay 35. It's like a nice synergy. The only thing that hurts me here is a 7 or an 11. It's like basically a don't pass, come out roll. I lose the $5 on the 11, so what? The 7, you lose an extra $5. Again, if you're losing 160, what's 5 more? Who cares? This, to me, allows me to roll a 12 or a 3 or something and not go, damn it, I wasted a roll. I can just go ahead and collect my $35 and treat the rest of it like it was already being treated. Right? I'll take that $35 and I'll throw it out here somewhere else. And to me, it's like an extra little, it's a roll that's not being wasted in the process. So there it is. There's a look at your ways. Now, tomorrow, what I'm going to look at is we're going to make the assumption that we got here. Okay? Let's assume we ran a strategy that got us to this point. And I'm going to throw it out here so you can see it. We got to 150, 160 back in the rack. And let's say that we've got, for a nice round number, $50 in profit that we've locked. Whatever we did, we got our 160 back, we locked 50, and we have 160 out here. You see it's possible. In 4 hits, 100% possible to get your money back, be out at 160, and have some profit. We know we can do it. My question is going to be, what do you do next? And that's going to be tomorrow's topic. What do you do next? Because I'm right back where I started. Do I right now go all the way to the ceiling? Do I take this 160 that's out here essentially quote unquote for free because I got locked to profit? Do I just drive this to the moon? Do I do the same move again? Because look at this. If I happen to get 5 more rolls, I'll leave you with this thought. If I happen to get 5 more rolls, the shooter goes from 5 to 10 rolls. Let's say that miracle happens and you're halfway to a monster. What would your rack look like if that happened? Well, your rack would look like this. If they get to another 5 rolls, the process would repeat itself. You'd have another 160 in your rack plus $50 in profit, right? Essentially, if they did it a second time, 10 more rolls, you would be covered. Here's your first 150. Let's take that out of the way. That's your initial bankroll right there. You'd be at 160, 260, 270 in profit. Because again, if you can get it to happen again, you get back 160 plus 50, you get back your 170. Now you're at 170 in profit, right? Plus your initial. You're completely playing free now. Now you're on your 3rd round. Did it once, locked up a tiny profit. Did it twice, locked up my goal for the day. My goal for the day, basically $200. I'm locked for my goal. Wow, I got my money back. I have my daily goal and I'm out for 160. What do you do? Do you do it again for rolls 15? Or now do you say it's time to go to the ceiling? And I'm okay with walking with 175 or whatever that is. That's your question for tomorrow. How do you play from here, right? I typically do what I just did. I typically will do the thing, lock it up, do the thing a second time, double up, and then I make my real decision. What am I going to do? What am I going to do from here now? Because this is the power play. But again, everybody's different. Your risk tolerance is different. Your goals are different and all of that. So think about that for tomorrow. I'd love to get some comments and think about how you would do that for tomorrow. Victor, take profits, reduce the house advantage. There you go. Get the hell out of the casino. Right? Bye-bye. I hear you there. I hear you there. Yeah, they can be a nightmare. I hear you, Scott. Dealers don't love all the moving around. But you know what? I've asked dealers this, and they're like, if you're making money and it's fun, as long as it isn't a nightmare for them, then it can be fun. Some of these things here can be okay. All right, let's take a look at the, let me go back to the screen here. And I will look at the chats real quick and to see if there's anything questions-wise that I haven't actually addressed yet. Let's see. Why not a horn high 3 versus all craps? Ease. You're talking about a couple of bucks in difference to win that. Horn high 3 is $5. What does that pay? It pays on a 3, you're going to get paid 30 to 1. You're going to lose 4. You're going to get paid $26, right? On a 2 or 12, you're going to get paid $28 versus 30 minus 3, $27. So you actually get paid a little bit less than the 35. The any craps, you lose the 11, but I think the couple of bucks difference, it's not that big of a deal, frankly. Let's see. Taking the same theory of betting across, you should like betting all the numbers in crap. No. You're right, Skill. You're right in the fact that I should be happy with that, right? Actually going across on a crapless table takes the C&E bet out of it. There's great wins in there for a couple of hits. That's all good. And maybe I'd make more money by doing that. You're probably right. I will not give them 1 red cent of my money on a crapless table. Even if it's a better bet for me, I'm not going there. I know that you are going to be like, you're an idiot. I'm just not going to support a screw job. And to me, crapless is a screw job. I'm not going to put money into something I don't believe in. I think they're trying to hurt us with the crapless tables, and I'm not going to give them my hard-earned money. I'm not going to frequent or patronize that table. I just won't do it. There's my soapbox again. Even if it's better for me, I'm not going to do it because I don't like what they're doing. So I just won't go there. I know it's hard-headed and it's pig-headed and it's old of me and all of that. It's all wrong. I get it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. All right, there it is, guys. Skill, tomorrow we can try laying half the back wall. I have no problem doing it. Matter of fact, when I roll live, I may roll this out live. What does it say? It's like 10 of 8. We could roll it a little bit here, but there's not enough time to get any real sense of it today. But yeah, we can try laying half the back wall. I'm fine with that, just to get a sense of it. If you want to spend 10 minutes, what the hell? Let's go do it. Let's go to the big table view. Let's go, not that one, Johnny, that one. Let's go here. Come on. There it is. Let's roll it. Let's roll out this thing here. We'll wait for a 7, and then we'll recharge the system. Here we go. We're at 160 across. I'll take all this fake profit away. Give me a second here to get my racks right. All right, I'm gonna put this here. Try and pay out of this thing instead. Let's get the white dice activated. We're actually out on a point of 10. Let's roll until we get a 7, and then we'll start the process. 6. Give me a. I want the dice to decide when we go. 5, 3, 8, or we'll get a 10. Either way, we'll get a 7 or a 10, and we'll start. There's a 4, 3, 7. So 7 out. Okay, let's lay the back wall. lay the back wall. I'm going to put some money out here. We'll go with 30, 30, 40, and 40. We're going to lay the back wall for $200 because we saw a 7. Roll into a 7, lay the back wall. Now we can simulate this. Somebody laying for half, somebody laying for the other half, and just get a sense of like what that would look like. Okay, here we go. Please be a 7. That's an 8. So what happens here is the person who's laying only the downtown side doesn't have any problem. The person who laid the 8, the uptown side, and me, who laid the whole thing, just lost $30, which kind of blows. 160 across, please. Bring it all up. That becomes 25, 30, $10 change. So we go from 200 laying the back wall to 160 across with $10 change. Again, we lost $30. Let's play, I don't know. We'll play it my way because it's my way. Let's see what happens. There's a 6, 4, 10 on the end. I love it. We get a 10. We're on the point of 8. We get a 10. It pays $50. Stack it right on up. There's hit number 1. There's the 6. That's hit number 2. 6 pays $35. Looks like 60. With 5 coming back. That's hit number 2. Again, not doing the craps right now. There's a 7. We lose it all, which bites. Right? We only got 2 hits out of that. We have $15. Big deal. We got 2 hits out of it. And again, here's the risk of that. Right? The guy that was coming in with the wedge only lost like $40 there because he brought in. He only had two big bets out here. So there's the downside of betting across because you can get whacked hardcore. 7 out ends the roll. Let's lay it again. Again, sense of rhythm for you all here. There we go. I'll put the $15 over here. It doesn't really matter. I'm putting it in front of the rack. Coming out. 9. 6, 3, 9. There's the 6, 3. We'll lose our $30. Point's going to be 9. Make me look like 160 across, please. Comes back out. There's 30 with $10 change. And there we go. We have $10 change or 160 across, and let's play it out. 5. 415, 415. Let's move that up in here. There's the 5. $35. And again, I'm just going to full press what came one time. Give me a 5 or 3 other things. There's an 8. That's hit number 2. Again, 35 on the 8. Make it look like 60. That's hit 2. There's the aces. If we're in any craps, that pays. There's a 5, 3, 8, easy 8. So now what's going to happen here is this. The 8 hit twice. In my world, I get a repeater. That's $70. I'm out. Right, we're going to pull back the 5 to where it was and pull back the 8 to where it was. We're back at 160. Let's see if we got our money back. I don't think we did this time. We're close, but not quite. That's 100, 25, not quite, because we hit it quickly. So here we are. We're at 100, 125, 135, back in the rack. You can really say, feed back the $30 to the bank. That covers the 9 that got set as the point. I basically have $110 left. You can go to 110 inside from here and be playing that quote unquote risk-free, or stay where you are, be behind a little bit, or go 96 across. There's lots of options here once you've gotten that hit, but as soon as I'm out of that hand, when I get my goal, either something hits twice or I hit 4 things, it's decision time. And remember, when out there at 160, this is all me, right? Actually, you got the $10 from before too. So we're actually damn close to being at 1 1.25 in profit. That's pretty cool. If you can pull that off, right? This might be a fun time to do one of these. Bring it inside, go 220, right? Let's leverage that. Leverage that win. We'll take a little bit here as kind of safekeeping. keep 60 bucks at home and go 220 inside. And again, out for 160, 60 bucks here. I have 220 inside for $100 in risk, right? And can we kind of skill 66 this thing to some degree? There's a 628 to pay 70 bucks, right? 60 pays 70. And so I can do here is I can do I can press the insides by whatever I like, right? We can go, I don't know, we can press them each by 10 bucks. Yeah, we can do $10 inside. We can go, I can go almost, yeah, 50, 60. Let's do a 66 inside. We'll press them up by 66 bucks. I'll take this 50 and we'll do that. And we'll get them each 3 units. 2 and change. 3. So these are going to look like $78. $78. All right, skill, do your thing. Can I get one more inside hit here? I did. 426. Look at that. That is awesome, right? All right, 85 for 1. And back to the house we go. Bring it all down. Right, went from 160 across to 220 inside, essentially for half the risk, and we're out. How do we do? There's 150. There's 160. There's 150. There's 160. So now we're back. What we lost, what we just were out there with, and we have 75, 100, and 5, 112 bucks in profit. That's sweet, man. 160 across. We turned it into 220. We turned the 220 into 330 or whatever that was, and then ended up getting back our loss, our output, or our spread rather, and still walked away with $100 in profit. I love that. I love that transition from across to the inside for 2 hits. That's like one of my favorite things. Yeah, Darksider makes a great point here. The key to the back wall lay is how the 7s are trending, right? You seen them back to back or not? Very good point. Like I said, one of the trends that we see a lot is the 7 out followed by the come out 7. That's a trend that I like to hop on. Didn't happen today, obviously, but that's a big trend. When you see that happen, it happens. If you see it on the come outs, jump on that. That back wall lay is a money maker if you hit that trend right. So, all right, there it is, guys. That's my show today. It's 9:03. We ended on time. Super fun. Good to have y'all here. We made money this morning on the daily paycheck. I know we have a low turnout today because of Brian. No big deal. No big deal. I don't care about that. He's getting ready for Vegas. I know they're going like next week, I think. So anyway, cheer him on. Go out there. I think he's probably still rolling. Go out there and jump in his chat and say hi. Cheer him on, and hope those guys go out there and win money like it sounds like the Blue Wrench crew did. So, all right, that's it, guys. I'm out. I may practice tonight. I didn't practice last night. It got late. I had work to do. I may go out there tonight. If not, I'll see you in the morning. But hopefully, I'll see you again later tonight for throwing practice. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye. Oh, wait. I switched my table. Yes. I said this yesterday. So I rearranged my whole office. I wanted more walking around room. The table was too close to me. I kept bumping into it, and I kept hitting my head on the camera because it was right behind my desk. So I moved my table around, back walled it, and now I have way more room to walk. My head's not in the shot anymore, which is good, and it's out of harm's way. So that's why I did all that. I'm fixing to get a new table down here. I'm fixing to get an actual table with rails and bumpers. That's going to need more room. So this setup allows me to test how that's going to be as well. So that's the reason why I move things around. Same table, different spot. And there it is. All right, out. See y'all later. Have a good day. Bye.